Hare Krishna, all the devotees, Danda Pranam. We'll start our today's Gita Game class.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dhanwad.
So, before starting, I wish all the very happy and Krishna conscious Purushottam Mas, Adhik Mas. And today is very important sloka based on that. How we can, like, Purusha and Prakriti, what is the difference and how it is benefited in this month. We'll see that. So we start with our prayers to the Lordships, Shri Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadramaya, Sanji, Shri Sai Gaur Chandraji, Parshuramji, Vamandev and all the devotees and God. Om Adnyanti Mirandasya, Jnananjana Shalakaya, Chakshurunmilitam Yena, Tasmai Sri Gurave Nama, Namo Om Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhakti Vedanta, Swami Niti Namine, Namaste Saraswate Deve, Gauravani Pracharine, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi, Pachatya Deshatarine, Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, so we'll start our today's shloka. The chapter is 13th chapter, Nature, Enjoyer and Consciousness. And the shloka number 20. Yeah. We'll recite 3 times and then you can recite for that. Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Viddhinadi Ubhav Api Vikramscha Gunaschaiva Viddhi Prakriti Sambhavan Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Viddhinadi Ubhav Apa Vikramscha Gunaschaiva Viddhi Prakriti Sambhavan Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Vidyanadi Ubhavapi Vikaramscha Gunachaiva Viddhi Prakriti Sambhavan. Anyone wants to recite?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Viddhi Anadi Upava Api Vikaram Cha Gunam Chaiva Viddhi Prakriti Sambhavan.
One more devotee. Okay, we'll see the translation. Translation and purport by Nidhivan Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Material nature and the living entities should be understood to be beginningless, that is anadi. Their transformations and the modes of matter are products of material nature. Okay. And okay, and purport we'll see through the Veda base. Roji, I will share. Purport by His Divine Grace is Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. By the knowledge given in this chapter, so we have seen like 13.8 to 20, there are 20 items, 8 to 12, 20 items which are given, that is knowledge given in this chapter. Nature, the enjoyer and consciousness. What is the real knowledge that is given in the 5 shlokas, 13.8 to 12? And about that, it is all told, by the knowledge given in this chapter, one can understand the body, the field of activity. We can see, last time we had seen the shloka, I think number it was third shloka in this chapter, Kshetradnyam api Kshetrapti. So in that, the both Kshetra and Kshetradnya is knowing to us as well as a super soul. So one can understand the body, the field of activities, and the knower of the both, knower of the body, both the individual soul and the super soul. Super soul know this Kshetra as well as Kshetradnya. So the body is the field of activity and is composed of material nature. The individual soul that is embodied and enjoying the activities of the body is the Purusha. So who is the actual uh, means we are not this body, we are the spirit soul. The clear description is given in this shloka. And Prabhupada is giving the purport that the individual soul that is embodied and enjoying the activities of the body is the Purusha. Not the body is Purusha. We are not this body, but we are the spirit soul. That what is we generally say in the philosophy. We first understand that what we are the soul, and we are not this body. So the description given by Prabhupada here in this purport, that individual soul is embodied and enjoying the activities of the body is the Purusha, not the body is Purusha. We are not this body, we are the spirit soul, and that is the living entity within us. And he is one knower, and that soul is one of the knower of this field. Soul knows about this body, the field. So he is the Kshetrajna of this body, of this field. And one more Kshetrajna is there, and the other is the super soul. Super soul which resides in every heart of the living entity, every living entity, in the heart of the every living entity, one super soul which resides. He also knows. So both the Kshetrajna are there, that living entity as well as the super soul. Of course, it is to be understood that both the super soul and the individual entity are different manifestations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The living entity is in the category of his energy, and the super soul is in the category of his personal expansion. So, Lord is there present. So, Purusha is there present. Purusha is the living entity, and the Supreme Lord is present as his personal expansion. Like a Shirodakshai Vishnu, he is present in every living entity. Both material nature, and now it is said that in this shloka how the Purusha and Prakriti, Prakritim Purusham Chaiva, Vidyanadi Ubhavapi. Material nature and the living entity should be understood to be beginningless. So both um, Purusha as well as Prakriti, this material nature and the living entity, they are both eternal. They're telling Anadi, they don't have beginning. So their transformation of modes of matter are product of material nature. So material nature and both the soul, living entity, they are both beginningless. They don't have any beginning. They are Anadi. So from many years or many lifetimes they are there in this material nature, and Purusha and Prakriti they have their function. So yeah, both material nature and the living entity are eternal. That is Anadi. Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Vidya Nadi Ubhavapi. That is to say that they existed before the creation. So before creation, like how pralaya occurs and another, then everything is devastated, and again it will get created. So the material manifestation is a form, is from the energy of the Supreme Lord, and the manifestation is by the energy of the Supreme Lord, and so also are the living entities. But the living entities are of the superior energy. Material nature and uh, living entities both are the manifestation of the Supreme Lord, but living entity is the advanced or superior energy of the Lord. Both the living entities and material nature existed before this cosmos was manifested. Material nature was absorbed in the Supreme Personality of Godhead Mahavishnu. So the Mahavishnu, which lies on the Karanodak ocean, Karanodakshai Vishnu, and that from the pores of that Vishnu, the universe comes out. And in that universe, this again the material nature was absorbed in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So once the pralaya comes, at the time of pralaya, everything get absorbed in the Lord's body, and again while creating, it will come out. And when it was required, it was manifested by the agency of Mahat Tattva. So there are 24 elements in that. Mahat Tattva is at the top. So by that Mahat Tattva, it is manifested again. Similarly, the living entities are also in him, and because they are conditioned, they are averse to the serving the Supreme Lord. But living entity, they are also like that. They are also inside the Mahavishnu. But when they are in inside the body of the Mahavishnu, they are against to serve the Supreme Lord. And the service to the Supreme Lord was conditioned. Like they don't want, like we were together with the Supreme Lord, but we don't wanted to serve to the Supreme Lord. And that's why we came out. Like Lord has created this universe so that we can understand how we can feel without the association, and how we can stay alone. But Lord is the Kshetrajna. He knows, like He didn't leave us alone. He is taking care of us as a uh, super soul inside every living entity. So similarly, the living entities are also in him, and because they are conditioned, they are averse to seeing the serving the Supreme Lord. Thus, they are not allowed to enter into spiritual sky. But with coming forth of material nature, these living entities are again given a chance to act in the material world and prepare themselves to enter into the spiritual world. Even when Prakriti and Purusha both are there in the body of the Mahavishnu, and they can uh, once the creation happens, they comes out, and this living entity is given again a chance in this material world to prepare themselves to enter into the spiritual world. So only when we are coming into this material world, we have a chance again to go back to Godhead. So that living entities that have a chance, and we got this chance, and this extra month is for that, so that we can connect. That is the mystery of this material creation. Actually, the living entity is originally the spiritual part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, but due to his rebellious nature, he is conditioned within material nature. It really does not matter how these living entities or superior entities of the Supreme Lord have come in contact with the material nature. People ask many times, but how the jiva fail from the spiritual world? How it is possible? And in the 15th chapter also it is written, we recite every day Purushottam Yoga, that Mama Vansho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana Manashashtani Indriyani Prakritistan Natadva Saite Suryo Nashashanko Napavatka Yad Gatvana Nivartante Tadhamam Paramam Mama. The Lord is describing his abode as the once the living entity comes in that abode, he will never fall. Then what is the question? Big question is like how the living entity fall. But here Prabhupada is telling that that is not important. It really does not matter how these living entities or superior entities of the Supreme Lord have come in contact with the material nature. The Supreme Personality of Godhead knows. However, how and why this actually took place, Lord is knowing that. In the scriptures, the Lord says that those attracted by the material nature are undergoing a hard struggle for existence. Those who are getting attracted, we can also understand this material world is dukkhalayam ashashvatam. By understanding this, still we have to struggle very hard for the living existence. So many calamities, so many Prakriti is giving so many Adi Daivik, Adi Bhautik, Adi Adhyatmik, all the kleshas are there. All our mental problem, mental disorders are increasing nowadays. Death rate is increasing, accidents are increasing. So much struggle to stay in this material world, and still undergoing a hard struggle for existence. But we should know it with certainty from the descriptions of these few verses that all transformations and influences of material nature by the three modes are also products of material nature. All transformations and variety in respect to living entities are due to this body. As far as spirit is concerned, living entities are all the same. So we should understand all this struggle and all this struggle for the existence is just for a body. And when we struggle everything for, when by keeping Lord at the center, by keeping devotees and in the association of devotees, when we practice the process of devotional service, then it is sure that struggle is there everywhere. Wherever you go, struggle is there. because this world is like that. World is made like that. It is called as in 8 chapter 15 shloka. It is said that it is dukkhalayam ashashvatam. So once in one's description I heard, if you go to Bhojanalaya, what you will get? You will get Bhojan. You will not get books to read. When you go to Pustakalaya or Vachanalaya, you will get the books to read. You can read there. So it is a Vachanalaya or Pustakalaya. Pustakalaya means you will get the books to read and you can read there, but you will not get bhojan there, right? Similarly, it is this world is called as dukkhalaya. It is a alay of a dukkha. So when you are here, we will get dukkha only. So uh, we will have to struggle. We'll have to struggle for the existence. But when we are in the association of devotee, that struggle is blissful. We feel that yes, we are advancing in the Krishna consciousness. We are advancing because uh, abhi exam hoga, like when we give the exam, then only we will pass. And then when we have to face the exam to pass, right? We can't say that we will not give the exam. So, and once we give the exam, then only we'll advance. So, for advancing in the spirituality, we will have to give the exam. Therefore, Kunti Maharani used to say, "Padam padam yatvi padam." Like at every step, there is a danger. So, at every step, if there is a danger, so we should be prepared always. We should be at our toes at every time. So, when we are prepared, always prepared with our mindset, yes, danger can come at any time. I need to chant my rounds. I need to do all the spiritual services at my uh, peak time. And when we understand this, we will practice in the association of devotee. It is very easy. Otherwise, alone we can't make. In the one bhajan also, ekaki amara nahi paya bala harinama sankirtana. Alone it is very difficult. And this extra month of Adik Maas, Purushottam Maas, it is given to practice more. So it is a sale period. It's going on now. So we can all pray for each other so that we can practice very nicely. We can chant more rounds and whatever we are doing, like shloka recitations from Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and 15 chapter recitation, that everyone can practice nicely so that we will understand and we will go more closer to the Lord. And again, whatever the chance, rare golden opportunity we got as per the Prabhupada purport, that to go back to God, we can practice it and we can go easily. So thank you. We'll stop here. We can start the other activity.